it going? My name is Mareko Maumasi. I'm a bladesmith that specializes in culinary knives, making exotic mosaic Damascus knives. And I teach, travel, and demonstrate. And now I'm here, spending some time with Neil. I'm trying to think about how I first met Neil. I think I first met Neil in 2017 at Blade Show in Atlanta. And at the time he'd been working with other makers, done some training, but he wanted to really understand chef's knives. And so he asked me if I would come out and teach him. And at the time he was like this cut test guy, and on Instagram, and he was getting great views, but people, like other knife makers, are like, who's this guy? Who's this guy just cutting all this crap? That doesn't mean anything. And so for a second, I was kind of like, yeah, who is this guy? But then I met him in person at Blade Show, like I said. We talked about me coming out and teaching. And we're still kind of like juggling the idea a little bit. Never really locked anything in. And then finally to myself, I was like, you know what? I don't know this person. And these other people that are kind of like poo-pooing on him a little bit, they don't know him either. And I want to try to meet him, do this, get to know him. And I gave it a try, and I just dropped into his life for like 2 weeks. Like we literally met for like maybe 5 to 10 minutes, talked on the phone maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and that was it. And we got along just like homies that had known each other like all of our life, which is pretty crazy to do, to just drop into somebody's life like that and be able to have kind of like that positive interaction, that kind of rapport. And I think one of the things that really blew me away when I first met Neil was just like how hard he works. He is the hardest working person I've ever met in my life. I've worked all kinds of jobs throughout my life, probably upwards to like 20 different jobs, and he is the most self-driven, hard-working person I've ever met. And actually, because of that, is part of the reason I'm here right now. I've been fortunate after that initial teaching and working together and getting to know each other. Became quick friends, and so it's just every once in a while now, every couple of years or so, I get out here and I spend some time. And honestly, there's a little bit of a trade. I teach a little bit here and there still, and to him or some of the people he's got working with him or in the shop. But I also get stuff in return. I get his insights into business, and just, I don't know, I'm definitely not the same kind of person. I'm not driven the way he is. And so I come here and spend this time with him with the idea, and not just the idea, I do leave feeling reinvigorated and excited to try to not necessarily be him, but to try to at least glean some of his energy and bring that back with me when I go home and get back into the shop. Because I think a lot of makers struggle with is doing it day in and day out grind. I've been making knives for almost 15 years in total, and I've been on my own brand, Maumasi Fire Arts, for going on 12 years, and it's a grind, literally, and it's hard, and it's solitary, and I'm definitely a very I don't know, I don't think I'm necessarily a very super jovial person, but I'm extroverted in a way that I really benefit from being around other people, and this work is really solitary. And so to have opportunities like this come out and work with people like Neil, and for him to have the availability for me to do that, because he is a super busy schedule, is really incredible. And so yeah, that's kind of why I'm here right now. And then, so yeah, I just kind of drop into his life. He like fits me in, and I'm very thankful for that, for our friendship, and be able to do that, because it was kind of very last second. But I'm here. We worked on some steel, designing some cool material. You know, it has its ups and downs sometimes in the making process, just like life. But I think that's part of the benefit of the process is, you know, you want things to go as smoothly as possible, especially when you're operating a business. But at the same time, again, just like life, you know, nothing's perfect, nothing goes perfectly smoothly, and you got to learn how to pivot and roll with the punches, kind of, in a way. And so working in another person's shop kind of really takes you out of your element, because most of us knife makers are very, like I said, very solitary. We have our own shops, we have everything like where we want it, and then you drop yourself into somebody else's shop and you don't know where stuff's at. You know, I couldn't even find paper towels at one point. I was like, I know he's got to have paper towels. I cannot find them. There's so many things. At one point, I even lost my own journal when it turned out I was actually already like sitting right in front of me. I don't know. Anyways, maybe it might be a me problem, but anyways, it's fun coming, and he's got a great shop. It's a simple shop, but it's very well set up. He does a great job keeping everything tidy and in its place, and so I try to show my respect and appreciation for him letting me come and be in this space by trying to help maintain that. Because I think the first time I came here, I made a little bit of a mess. I felt bad. So I was trying to be doing a better job of that. But yeah, just super thankful for the opportunity to come here. And it's funny, every time I come here, people are like, "Oh, what are you doing? You going to the beach?" I'm like, "No, I just go hang out. I'll go up, be at the spot, be at the shop, work." I enjoy this work, and it doesn't feel like work when I'm here doing it with it kind of like with the air of like, I don't know, fun. It feels more like play rather than work. You know, I'm still working, sweating my ass off, hot here, very humid, doing hot work, working in front of the forge, grinding, all this stuff. But it feels more like play, and I think that's part of the thing too, is like for me, I need to take those breaks every once in a while from the grind of the day-to-day and running my own business, to step away and play a little bit, to bring some of that fun back into the work. You know, I'm not the greatest business person, I don't think, and so I struggle with just the constant grind, and it's easy to get burned out. And that's something I've been trying to battle a little bit over the last few years, is battling burnout, trying to figure out ways to kind of again roll with things and make adjustments and pivot. And so that's why I said I teach, and so in the last couple of years I've started doing a lot more teaching and demonstrating and traveling a lot. Last year was a big travel year for me. I need to dial it back this year. It was too much last year. But I wouldn't have known unless I did it, and I did it, and I realized I don't need to do that much. I can do more than I did a few years ago, but not as much as last year. So, but this is one of those things. I got a lot of things coming up I'm excited about. But yeah, again, bringing it back to Neil and being here in the shop, just very, very thankful for this opportunity to be here, to work with him, all the great conversations we have, all the great food we get to eat and hang out and spend time doing, just like with his family, and Dane and Adrian. And so yeah, it's good to be here and kind of, I guess it's technically kind of a vacation. Even though I'm working, it is technically kind of a vacation, and getting some of that R&R that I need. And again, very thankful to Neil to have space or be able to accommodate me kind of just dropping into his world. But it's been cool to watch them operate here and try to be, again, gleaning wisdom, insights from the conversations, from how he operates, how how he keeps his shop so tidy. Like, it does make a big difference, and my shop is like a rat's nest kind of right now. So I think one of the first things I need to do when I get back to my shop is do a bit of tidying up. So I think for me, the takeaway from this past week, because I was struggling with some of the pattern welding stuff, and I've been doing this, like I said, for like at least the Damascus making. I've been making Damascus for at least 13 years of the 15 years I've been knife making. And this last week, I had a lot of struggles, and I think it's often I find myself very easily feeling burned out or overwhelmed or stressed out, and things aren't going perfectly, and being really hard on myself. And I think this last week was kind of a good lesson in self-compassion, I guess, in a way, and being okay with the lack of perfection and being able to roll with the mistakes, because I believe I've been trying to like really not buy into, I don't think is the right word, but just like adapt better, because life is full of mistakes and we make mistakes all the time. But those mistakes, and I tell this to my kid, our mistakes we make in life are they're lessons in disguise. And so if we don't take that time to kind of be self-reflective and introspective, to kind of look back and figure out what was going on or what might have happened to cause the mistake, if we just get angry at it and just push past it and want to forget about it, we miss that opportunity to learn that lesson. But if we take the time to be like reflective, we hopefully learn that thing. And instead of it being a dip, it kind of like becomes a plateau, and then you can go up again from the lesson you learn, and you cruise along again. Then a mistake happens, and whether or not you learn from it decides if you dip back down or if you go back up, I feel like. And so I'm trying to keep that philosophy in mind after this last week, because I was struggling with making this steel, but I think we got something cool made, and I'm excited for it. And I'm excited to get it put together and us hopefully get some knives forged out of it. We'll see what happens. But I'm also very thankful again to Neil for having the time and the space to let me into his life.